now I don't really know what I want to do. I want it to be in comedy with whatever I do. I always thought Man on the Street would be fun here in Austin on the weekends, but I don't have an idea that's consistent enough to, like keep creating content. So my idea is to take whatever's like trending in the media. I think right now, like one thing that I would be interested in and is like, well, let's just take like drones, right? Let's say the Switch 2 and then take those topics and then just have a bunch of comics have a week to write on those topics. And then we get together in my studio and we just rattle off as many jokes as we can on those topics. And then those would just be clips on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that way, like let's say the switch to like say the Jake Paul fight, right? When that was a big thing, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
If we did like jokes on that, we would be in the algorithm on humor relating to the current event.
Right. And then your people will be able to find your content a lot easier. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that if we did humor on current events, that's basically what I'm pitching is humor on current events done in like a stand-up podcast setting.
And see, that would be interesting to see, especially as ever changing as things are.
Yeah, and everyone knows that we have like we're writing them. So it's kind of almost like a workshop. So we'll sit there and be like, okay, Joshua, you got Nintendo Switch, go. And then you write and then whatever it is, you write. And if it could be horrible, it doesn't matter. We could laugh when it's bad and we try what our job is to see if we can punch it up and make it better.
Right. And that's what it's all about when it comes to comedy anyways, is getting your reps in and working your way up to, getting better at writing them, the delivery, because your bigger comics that, like that are out there now. I mean, God, you see their success, but you don't see where they were getting
Yeah,
to that.
they've done so much. Like even like celebrities, A-list celebrities have done so much. Like if you see like Brad Pitt or something, we just know him as Brad Pitt, but he was in like he was pretty old before he got in. He was doing commercials and all sorts of stuff. You know what I mean? Like um so many auditions, so many things before he got his big break or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And
Um
most people don't see the struggle. They just see the success.
yeah, exactly. So so anyway, with the segment, I just did this quick. Like, I do think that like not too much time should be spent, like if you're on a roll writing the jokes, whatever. But I gave myself that exercise today and I did give myself Switch 2 because it's coming out. So these are the ones I wrote. And then so the segment would be like, okay, my topic was Switch 2. Okay, and this is the jokes that I came up with. Um The Switch 2 finally, it's almost like late night talk show type stuff, when they say the news.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Switch 2 finally revealed itself. I saw it and it turned me on. Should have named it Light Switch. But which is funny too because they have a Switch Lite. And I'm like, that would have been hilarious if they named it the Light Switch. That'd be so great. Okay, dad joke. They need to make an edible version of it. We'll call it a sand switch. So stupid. My friend has a Nintendo Switch, and I told him, "Hey, I have a Switch too." And he said, "That didn't come out yet." And I'm like, "Oh, I meant I have a Switch also, right?" But had me thinking, when the Switch 2 comes out, we'll have to say, "Hey, I have a Switch 2 too." Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's all I wrote on it. But that
But
would
that's a
be
good concept.
Yeah, like, and that could be a clip. That could be just like, like a reel, and that's it. And then people could be like, that's stupid or good or whatever. But the point is, I got a video that I could send you an unlisted link on it. You can give me your opinion on it. But my
Okay.
buddy Chen is working out his jokes, and I'm basically trying to punch him up and make them either funny or saying, hey, maybe we should just ditch that. Or so you kind of get in the creative writing like you'll be kind of like a POV fly on the wall of the creative writing process of comedy. And I guess you could just tell me whether or not like you find it engaging enough or if you think that it needs something else.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to do that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I'm just um well, I don't know when this goes live, but like my Kill Tony hasn't even aired yet. So I don't even know how that's gonna like watching it back. I'm gonna make a video on that also.
Yeah, I saw the first one she did, and I mean I thought it was good. How did the second time go around go?
It's, so I didn't watch it. So I'm just going based off memory, and I like thought I did, much better than the first time because wasn't I was more like grounded. I wasn't like freaking out, and I watched so much Kill Tony that knowing the show's format and the people, it kind of makes you feel like way more comfortable when you like know the inside jokes, all the people's names.
Yeah,
So
I can honestly say, even though it was funny, you could kind of tell that you were maybe a little bit nervous
yeah.
because of I guess because of the platform and how big he's gotten now.
Yeah, yeah, but second time wasn't nervous. Like you already did it. Like anytime you do something like in comedy, if you do any room you do the first time, you're going to be way more nervous. If you do a room like two time, like I think I did this huge room in Vegas, 500 people. My third time doing it, I was in the pocket because I did it three. The first time I'm like, oh shit, this 500 people. Oh my God. Just terrified. Second time, a little nervous. Third time, I was just like, we got this.
Yeah,
So
and the rhythm.
you're just gonna be. I would hope that my second time would be better, is what I'm trying to imply.
Yeah,
Because the second time wasn't just like, oh, I got better jokes. It had nothing to do with that. It had just to do with the interview being better.
right.
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
jokes
and
are fine.
that's what it's all about is getting better at what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. So it went so well. It went, I mean, I guess I could give some stuff away, but so Red Band is a fan of healthy junk food. So he chimed in and said, yeah, um, Tony goes, have you been on this? You've been on this show before, right? And Red Band pops in and he goes, yeah, he runs a really successful food channel with his ex-girlfriend who locked him out. And he's like, okay, let's talk about that. So we got into this huge thing about that. So that's gonna be absolutely insane because I bring up a story I've never told anybody, not even the internet really. And they asked me if I dated after we broke up, and I've never told anyone the story, but I was like, yeah, I did start dating someone after we broke up, and that's when she went like super jealous, batshit crazy. And he's like, what'd she do? He goes, well, she literally barged into my apartment and I was like in my underwear. And I go, if you like walk into someone taking a shit, you're like, oh, my bad, and you leave. She just kept coming in. She goes, I just gotta grab some stuff. I'm like, I'm in my underwear. My girlfriend at the time was in the bathroom hiding, and she like banged on the door. And she was like, "Come out, little girl." And I'm like, this is so violating boundaries. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so like now I'm telling the whole world this story. Like 2 million people at least, right, are gonna watch it. And the guest is probably gonna bait some clicks too, because the guest was Andrew Dice Clay, and he's not like some nobody, so they're gonna see Andrew Dice Clay on the thumbnail. So I might even get more views than normal for a Kill Tony episode.
Jeez.
And like
That's crazy.
I know, and she looks like so crazy. I make her look so crazy on this show. And then he said, well, is she's got your YouTube channel? I'm like, yeah. She goes, well, she's still like bothering you? And I'm like, yeah. I go, she made like a 30-minute video slandering me. He goes, what did she slander you on? I go, well, she said I'm verbally abusive, which that's probably true. And then everyone laughed. And he goes, well, of course, you're Italian. You have to be verbally abusive. And so we're making a joke out of her claims. And then I'm like, yeah, and she outed me as gay. And he was like, well, like, why would she do that? And I'm like, well, I told her I am gay. And he goes, well, that'll do it. He goes, so why'd you tell her you're gay? And I'm like, oh, it was just a tactic to get my phone back because I kept asking for it back, and she would refuse. And I'm like, well, that's not working. I go, let's try something different. So I texted him like, Julia, I'm gay. And she's like, oh, I knew it. And like gave me what I needed back. And I'm like, wow, it worked. And then Tony goes, wow, that's kind of genius. He goes, I like that. Like, I might use that.
That's crazy. It sounds like it went well.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, everything that went on, even though it's so tragic, I found funny in it and I made it lighthearted. And her sense of humor is just gone. Like she didn't find any of this stuff funny. I'm like, dude, Julie, this is hilarious. I go, you out us as broken up on the channel you stole from me, and then you go to Jamaica with a bunch of black dudes in the next video. I go, what do you think was gonna happen? What do you think? I go, and then I had to read the comments. Like, Julia left JP for the BBC. And all I'm thinking to myself is like, Julia, why? Like, why did you have to upload that? You know what I mean? Like, you could have uploaded anything. You could have went to McDonald's, like, and
Yeah.
reviewed a sandwich. Like, you had to go to Jamaica and just be in the pool with a bunch of and then she uploads a music video of her with a bunch of dudes. Like I'm like, oh my God, it's so bad. She got like this professional music video shot where she's like one of the actresses in some band. And it looks literally like it looks like a well-produced pornography. You know what I mean? Like something could that like looks like the premise of like just a sick gangbang. And like the comments are going nuts, by the way. Like all the comments are just so sexually suggestive. And I'm just like, Julia, I don't know, like I don't know if you get this. Like you get it? You get what you're doing? So I found so much humor in all of it. I even named my car Big Black Car. And it just was so fun. And that even turned into a bit too, because I ended up calling Tesla because I got locked out during an update, which don't ever update your car unless you're plugged in at home. So they wanted to verify my car. So they're like, what's the name of your car, sir? I'm like, Big Black Car. Like, they're like, that's very creative. I'm like, yep.
Golly. You've had a roller coaster of a year, man.
Let's face it, guys only want one thing.
Wish I had something natural instead of this synthetic body wash. Sydney Sweeney, body wash genie?
Dr. Squatch Natural Body Wash for men. They're tired of smelling thirsty.
Sydney Sweeney.
Holy coconuts, it even smells natural.
And it's moisturizing. At the end of the day, they just want to crack open a natural one with the boys.
Sydney Sweeney, body wash genie.
Dr. Squatch Body Wash for men who prefer natural.
A few moments later.
Yeah, tons of jokes, tons of yeah, huge roller coaster. I mean, like I didn't even I didn't even show the world after I got back though, but after I got back to man, after I got back to I went back to Vegas, and from Vegas, that's where I kind of like was all over the place. I went from Vegas to they had the World Series of Comedy in Vegas. Um, I got to perform at that, compete in that, and speak at that. And then from there, I flew to Orlando for my buddy's wedding, and it was crazy. I had to be back in where I used to live. And I so badly was thinking about staking out the dog parks, waiting for it to catch my dog and see if my dog would break from the pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like just come roaring at me. But I didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing that I found crazy about the whole thing is the whole dog situation. Like,
I mean that makes the most sense. She's gonna take whatever she can get, right?
yeah,
So I knew that that was gonna be yeah. If we ended amicably, I'm sure I would have had like visitate, like you know what I mean. I could have seen the dog, but like now it's just like I'm pretty sure she probably wants a restraining order on me. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure she doesn't want me to even walk in her line of vision for the rest of her life.
right.
You know what I mean?
And that's just crazy. I mean, you I don't
It
know.
is it
It's
is crazy because like it's not for the right reasons. It's because she's just scorned from the business, scorned from the online hate. She's probably just scorned because I did move on. She's scorned that um she didn't succeed on her own. You know what I mean? Like she's probably just pissed that she couldn't just create like I think she thought she was bigger than she was for on the YouTube. That she's like, oh, no one liked JP anyway. She could have probably had that in her head. No one even subscribed for them. They all came for me. I was the star. I was the cook. I was, you know what I mean? And then she takes over and they're all like, where's JP? And
yeah.
now she wants to literally like she's attacking people anytime they ask where I am.
See, that's just crazy to me because, you know, especially for the people who follow that channel for so long, you get used to seeing one thing, and then when it totally changes, it's like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. I said it's like, nothing against her. I go, if I knocked her out of the channel, they would have been asking, where's Julia? And then the other thing is like the office, you lose your star, Michael Scott, like I'm sorry, but like that show couldn't last once he was gone. You can't really you can't take that away and think it could be better. That's almost naive to think. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you can't hit success
Better.
twice,
Well, yeah, with
you know.
less.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
That's
it's
just crazy.
I don't know, and the worst part is I have no clue if she even gets that concept. I would be convinced that she would still be blaming everybody and anybody but herself.
Yeah, and that's just that's sad.
Yeah, you can't grow from that. And you would probably feel a lot better if you just sat back and reflected on like, hey, like I messed up. Like, kind of admitting it to yourself privately. It probably might make you feel better
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I I messed up too. We both messed up. No one's perfect, but I can make jokes about it. And legally, I'm immune. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, but at the same point, you're trying to take a bad situation and put a good spin on it, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it's not like crazy. I don't think it's like mean-spirited humor anyway. Most of it's about me. Like my ex outed me as gay. I'm gay. You know what I mean? Like it's not really it's more a deprecating joke than it is you know, mean to her. The only mean one that I did of her, but I haven't really done it, um, because it's not that funny. The joke is, my ex is suing me for $1 million. I'm like, what are you, like, Dr. Evil? I go, $1 million? I go, you're not a, I go, I wouldn't say Dr. Evil. I'd say like associate's degree evil, or like community college evil, or like GED evil. Like, so like I'm kind of making fun of her intelligence with that one. But I don't ever say that one.
Yeah, man, I can honestly sit here and say, you've had a crazy year, but you've made the best of it. And that's
Y-
really all you can do.
Yeah, yeah. And then here's the 2025.
Yeah. And looking at what you did last year, excited to kind of see where you go this year.
Yeah, like for I don't like the craziest thing is I don't really have a plan. I'm gonna throw stuff at the wall and see if it sticks. And I kind of shot a pilot of the idea that I'll send you the unlisted link to, but
Okay.
it's it was easy to produce. I think that's pretty important right now. I don't want to burn out on a concept that takes me like tons of a huge investment, and I kind of
Yeah.
have everything I have everything I need set up to do what I did, and and all I need are comics. And so I'm thinking like, well, I live in the town full of them, so I have them at my disposal. So I'm trying to think of ideas that'll further my comedy. So obviously me writing jokes helps further my comedy, and then me bringing comics on helps further my comedy, and then me uploading it to YouTube helps my reach.
Yeah. And at the same time, you're helping grow the community and helping them grow as comics as well. So it's kind of
Yeah,
goes
win,
both
it's
ways.
such a win. It's such a win-win. And people want to get together and workshop. They just don't like you need the ambition to do it. You need to pick up the phone and hit up these people, and you know what I mean? It has to happen.
Yeah.
So that's not easy, but luckily I have a good circle of people that I can kind of run through, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And once I exhaust them, then I'll have to start reaching out to some, you know what I mean? Then I'll have to kind of get out of my comfort zone and get people on that I don't know as well.
Yeah. And see that's so cool that you're taking things of that nature and okay, let's see if this works and let's see if this works. And I've learned over the past year through YouTube that that's pretty much what it takes. See what sticks. And the comedy thing right now I think is really hot.
Yeah, yeah. And the fact that I have a lot of Kill Tony people, I'm almost thinking I could probably use them in the title, you know? Like punch it up, Chen from Kill Tony episode, blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that would be awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Definitely. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I appreciate you coming back on and going into detail on stuff that you could and seeing how things transpired for you over the past 12 months or so, because I think that that's important for people to see, especially with things that are going on. It's like, you know, when you have lemons, make lemonade, and take a bad situation and just make the best of it, because we all have had some sort of bad situation we've been in, and you could either use it to your advantage or just sit and dwell on it and get depressed by it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's not over, but it's far beyond it's not really lingering on my mind. Um, I'm so focused on the next project.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's really cool to see. I mean, it's inspiring, especially to somebody like me. I mean, not because of the same situation, but because I do find this kind of difficult to do when when I work 50, 60 hours a week and then doing this as well. It gives me inspiration to continue to do what I like to do. And I do like talking to people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I found this to be almost therapeutic, so I appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a blast. I definitely want to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll keep in touch, and when big milestones happen, I'm sure we'll do a recap on it all.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can't wait to do it again.
All right. Well, best of luck with you and your ventures as well, and best luck. Let's again, cheers to 2025.